I happened to run through or some publicity interviews or podcasts on YouTube on Mr. Eric Ozario, a preeminent figure in Konkani literary industry in South Canada and a self-styled guardian of Konkani culture and heritage. Mr. Ozario is a Konkani activist and has done enormous work for the past 40 years in preserving the richness of language, culture through his occasional fights and agitations, some research, explorations, padayatras, and mainly through the establishment of a Konkani cultural site and an institution by the name Mandd Sobhann. I don't know whether Eric and his wife Joyce have got due credit and laurels for the quality and depth of their vocals in South Canada's Konkani musical scene. Not sure if there is a better duo that complements and blends each other in musical finesse. But apart from that, Mr. Eric is not a literary figure by definition. I doubt whether he has written any song or a lyric or a poem or a Konkani article, leave alone a novel or collection of essays. Therefore, it is wrong to equate him with legendary welfare members or another stalwart like Mr. Chafra de Costa, or even smaller literary greats like Micmacs, A.T. Lobo, H.M., etc. All of Mandd Sobhann's songs have been borrowed from other independent songwriters and poets, including the man Mr. Ozario affirms as a guru, Chafra himself. A few decades ago, I remember there were reports of his discord with Konkani Kogul welfare members on standards of lyrics in his music, plainly stating Mr. Ozario had made a career in music by snatching and borrowing tunes from folk artists and other writers, and only contributed through his occasional vocals and some musical arrangements, but has taken full credit for the music which he and his organization deems as theirs. This is quite malicious and disingenuous. Not sure how strong the copyright and trademark and patent laws are in South India, especially Dakshina Kannada. He himself said on many occasions that he hasn't learned any Hindustani or classical music or any folk music, or does he play any instruments, maybe an organ at the most. He has used the services of notable poets and lyricists like Sridhar Kamath, Melvyn Rodrigues, etc. in his music that he has credited to his organization Mandd Sobhann. I am not aware of Mr. Ozario having written a single sentence in Konkani for any publications. Despite these shortcomings, Mr. Ozario had the audacity to question Konkani icon Welfare Members' choice of lyrics and his contribution to enrich Konkani literature. My goodness. Talking about lyrics, has Mr. Eric heard about songs like Anna Marina and Flavia? Wilfie's best years were the 1970s, where only few songs were recorded in LPs and his lyrics were down-to-earth, simple and common man friendly. Therefore, he is touted as the Sangita Surai. Wilfie's contribution to music of South India, not just the Konkani world, is peerless, unmatched, unparalleled, unrivaled, and unsurpassable, to say the least. Well, to add few words of credibility to Mr. Ozario. Mr. Ozario, before becoming the self-styled protector of Konkani culture and heritage, he was a prominent English MC, the master of ceremony in the city of Mangalore, along with one of his rivals in those days was Mr. Arthur. So, and he was regarded, both were regarded as the top notch, and that was significant in the rise of Mr. Ozario. It's a common thing that children born in Konkani music families do not attempt to speak in native language Konkani. In fact, they try hard to stay away from the language avoid people that speak that language, and shun their parents' legacy. This is not a deliberate, but a psychological thing. A film star's son also shows heavy aversion to walk on his father's footsteps. Take the example of Mr. Abhishek Bachchan. It's not a big deal actually. Konkani language is a mother tongue and that's it. It won't feed you. It won't feed your children, and it has no significance outside one's home or one's own gates. Like the languages like Kannada, Tamil, Malayalam, or even Tulu to this day. In one of the interviews, I think it was Comedy Company, Mr. Ozario labels himself some kind of a crusader and makes several tall claims. But what struck me was Mr. Ozario's disconcertment over his own grandchildren on their incomprehension to learn or speak Konkani. He outrightly blamed his son and daughter-in-law for their reluctance to tutor them the importance of language. He further said he had no shame accepting this setback from his own family. Hearing this, the first word that got uttered from my mouth was abysmal. This man is a protector and preserver of Konkani heritage. A man who disparages and vomits insensitive remarks on his own tender grandkids for their inability to speak an irrelevant language? Why is this man shoving down his ego over those tiny little human beings? Well, family comes first, I must tell you, over anything else on this planet. Mr. Ozario's years of activism falls flat right there in the ground and gets buried with that preposterous remark, I must say. He may have used below the belt comments against other Konkani literary icons, but nothing can withstand his remarks against his own family members. Mr. Ozario is an interesting personality. If the word credit had a nickname, it would be easily called Mr. Ozario. I remember years ago during a Daijivul TV dance reality show, Nas Nara, I believe, Mr. Ozario was invited as a guest judge, and the poor contestants performed for one of his hit songs. And when his turn came to deliver the judgment, he did deliver like the final judgment given by a high court or a Supreme Court judge, lambasting and pounding over the two kids and their inefficacy to present the right emotions in their performance. It went well with the audience, but not with Mr. Ozario's ego. Again, he placed his ego and his temper ahead of prudence and restraint. It seemed like the man who claims himself the warrior does place him on a higher pedestal, and was fumed that his composition, not his lyrics, was demonstrated poorly through his lens. That wasn't good sight for him or the contestants or to the Daiji World team itself. Thank you.